Hey there, so in this video on my channel, Engineer Soft Skills, I want to talk about how to develop confidence in the workplace. And first of all, why is this so important? Why is it important to develop confidence in the engineering workplace? And I think it is unbelievably important. I think it is because so many people in engineering can be introverted, can be shy, can be afraid to speak up and bring their ideas, their thoughts, their disagreements to the table. And this can be such an important thing because by speaking up, by bringing your ideas to the table, you are helping a project and a team move things forward, where projects can go south when people aren't speaking up, when people aren't bringing their ideas to the table, when people aren't potentially identifying problems and or offering solutions, when people aren't interacting, when people aren't asking questions. So that is why confidence, social confidence, speaking up is so valuable in the workplace. So let's get into some reasons or some ways that you can develop your confidence in the workplace. Number one is that confidence follows competence. So this might sound a little bit obvious, but the first time you drove a car, were you confident in your ability to drive a car? Probably not. I wasn't. I didn't have the ability to just pick it up right away and drive smoothly and confidently the first time I got in a car. But now I've driven thousands of times and it's pretty darn easy. You hop right in and things kind of click and happen automatically. You don't have to worry about adjusting your mirrors and turning on your headlights and making sure every little thing is right. They just kind of happen automatically because it's so habitual and you've developed so much competence doing it, and that drives your confidence in your ability to do the thing. So first of all, develop competence in any area that you feel like you have a lack of confidence. Number two is to develop your ability to feel any feeling in your body and not run away from it. So this one sounds a little bit woo-woo, but when you look at fears, all of our fears are fears of feelings. So when it comes to going up and talking to someone, approaching an attractive stranger, whatever it is that you want to do that you feel a bit of fear doing, for me, I feel a bit of fear putting out these videos. What is the fear of? Is it actually of that thing? Is it actually of the rejection? I would argue that it's not. It is of the feelings that you will feel when that rejection happens, or if and when that negative comment occurs. It's of what we're going to feel in our bodies. So by developing the capacity to deeply feel into your body and just be okay with anything that comes up, welcome all the harsh, unpleasant feelings, that gives you this deep sense of confidence because you know that you can handle difficult feelings. The next method for developing confidence is to develop skills. So in any career that you're in, or just any discipline in general, you're going to find that you are confident in certain things because you've developed that competence, and in other areas you don't have the skills or the competence. Developing the mindset that you can build any skill, that you can learn how to do something. If you're not already confident in that thing, if you don't already know how to do that thing, you can learn it. Get on Google, order the right books, order whatever knowledge that you need in order to develop these skills. Get really good at identifying what skills you don't already have. And one technique that I think is awesome for this is called the Feynman method, or the Feynman technique, which is this physicist Richard Feynman would, rather than rote memorization, rather than just reading a bunch, his method for learning things was essentially to teach things. And you don't have to actually have an audience in order to teach the things. You just need to start going through a lecture to nobody about that particular topic. And you'll quickly be able to identify the holes in your knowledge, the flaws in your knowledge. When you start lecturing about a particular topic, you're going to realize that you get to a point where you don't really know why that particular thing is the way that it is. You might know a certain equation, but you don't know what it relates to. You don't know what each variable means. You don't know all of these things surrounding it. And doing the Feynman method and teaching it will reveal your gaps in knowledge, and then you can quickly fill those gaps in knowledge in order to develop a more comprehensive understanding of the whole topic. So develop skills, use that Feynman technique to really develop a strong competence in particular areas. Number 4 is to own your value. So we can often not speak up or just speak up shyly because we believe that what we have to say, what our thoughts are, what our opinions are, aren't valuable. We think that we're not smart enough, we're not experienced enough, and what we have to say doesn't matter, so we either don't bring it to the table or we bring it up very meekly. But owning your value, recognizing that what I have to say is important and valuable to other people, is hugely important in your ability to speak up and speak up confidently. All right, number 5 is optimal self-coaching. So this is looking at the way that you talk to yourself. You may or may not realize this. I found that meditation can be a really helpful way to start to recognize and understand the thoughts that we have in our own heads, and to realize that oftentimes we're treating ourselves horribly. The things that we say to ourselves in our own head, if a friend were to say those things to you, I mean, I'll find myself saying things to myself like, you're ugly, you're stupid, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve anything, you should be fired. I'll replay horrible conversations in my head, I'll imagine future horrible events happening. And this is just not an optimal way of coaching ourselves. So 1, recognizing that, and then 2, moving toward a more optimal way of coaching ourselves. And I learned this from a mentor of mine, Aziz Gazipura. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can check out a book of his, which is The Solution to Social Anxiety, or The Art of Extraordinary Confidence, which I think is up on this bookshelf here. So learning how to optimally coach yourself and how to talk to yourself in the right way is really important. Number 6 is to start small. Start with those 5-pound weights. In other words, rather than starting with something that you think is at the edge of your ability, start with something that's like the easiest version of doing the thing that you want to be doing. If you have fear in speaking up with people, don't think that the way that you have to start is to speak up at the company all-hands meeting and just declare radically your big thought that will change the entire company. Start instead with just saying hi to people as you cross them in the break room, or whatever the case might be. Find the smallest version of something that maybe isn't even close to the edge of your comfort zone, but just do things that progressively elevate and elevate and elevate your way toward moving your comfort zone and expanding it so that you're more comfortable with scarier and scarier things to you. And finally, number 7 is to develop a growth mindset. And this one is particularly meaningful to me because I found that in many ways, I did not have a growth mindset. I had a hardcore fixed mindset in a lot of categories of life. And the fixed versus growth mindset comes from Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, where she realized that people had one of 2 mindsets. And this is it's on a spectrum, it's on a sliding scale, but breaking it down into the 2, fixed versus growth, is just helpful in the way of looking at it. So fixed mindset people believe my skills, my traits, my abilities are just fixed. I have what I have. I have a certain level of intelligence, and I could do all the studying I want. It won't really affect it. I have a certain level of ability to do math problems, and that's my capacity. Growth mindset people know that through hard work, through effort, through deliberate practice, they can develop their capacity in any particular skill, attribute, trait. So I had this big time when it came to intelligence. I thought, oh, you have a certain IQ, you're a certain level of smart, and that might be partially true. There might be, you might have an upper limit on what you're able to do, but you can grow so massively in your intelligence. And this fixed mindset stopped me from doing certain things, because a big part of the fixed mindset is that if I were to test myself in this area, if I were to try at this big project and fail, that would be indicative of the fact that I am just not intelligent, that I am not worthy, and people would look down upon me, and there would just be a lot of fear around going into certain things. Whereas with the growth mindset, you recognize, okay, here's where I'm at in this particular skill or trait, and where I'm at, it doesn't matter that much, because I know that I have the ability to grow massively. Where I'm at right now is like my y-intercept on the graph. What matters more than the current point is what the trajectory is like. Am I learning? Am I growing? Is that linear or maybe even exponential curve moving upward at a fast rate? Or am I just stagnating? Am I plateauing? Am I totally horizontal and not moving? So developing that growth mindset and noticing what areas you might have a fixed mindset in, and then shifting to more of a growth mindset to the greatest degree possible, I've found to have a big impact on my confidence and my ability to just do things that I don't feel confident at. I know that my particular skill right now doesn't matter. I will develop and I will get better at them. Maybe this is my second video that I'm doing. Maybe this one isn't so great, but that doesn't matter to me too much right now. What matters is that I continue to get better and better at them, and that my 10th, 20th, 100th videos are awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're finding that this is bringing you value, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, Engineering Soft Skills, or Engineer Soft Skills, and go ahead and check out my website as well, engineersoftskills.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.